Hi everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariba, and today we're back to the Game of Thrones universe, but this time it's not A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We are coming back to House of Dragon, and it's season 3 this time. I think with this channel, I think this is maybe one of the few times that I've actually followed a whole series from beginning and hopefully to its end, because we know for a fact that the House of Dragon is going to end with a fourth season, and after that that's the conclusion of the series. So but yeah, we are back in action in the Game of Thrones world, and this time House of Dragon, which I'm sure a lot of people are feeling a little bit mixed about, because of course it wasn't long ago, or at least 2 years ago, because I think that's when season 2 came out, that it started off strong, and a lot of people were very disappointed with how anticlimactic the season 2 finale was, as if it was just the beginning of a battle. Like, why would you stop right there where things are just really starting to get really interesting? And I think from what I can recall, we remember that Rhaenyra was starting to unchain a lot of the dragons. I can't remember the names at the top of my head right now. Of course, there's a whole deal that she made with Alicent, but we also know that Aegon is now kind of going into hiding because of everything that's happened. And it looks as though that Aemon's gonna be the interim king at this point, from the looks of it, at least if I recall the actual trailers. But there's a lot brewing. We're only starting to get into the actual battle, and of course, based on the trailers, it does seem as though that we're really digging deep into the actual war itself. Like, we're finally getting to the peak of it, something that I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting to see, and we're finally getting it. And now it's just a matter of seeing how that's going to be executed for the rest of the season. I know, again, a lot of people are feeling quite skeptical because of how things have ended, but even then, I mean, this is a series that has a lot of potential, and I think it's one of the reasons why I'm going to keep on with Game of Thrones. I mean, of course, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms came out a couple months ago, and that really kind of just stunned a lot of people, and it's kind of surprising that I think this may be the first time that we've had two Game of Thrones series come out within the same year, let alone maybe a very short gap like the way that we had this year. And so we're definitely being spoiled with a lot of Game of Thrones content, and it looks as though that season 3 may actually be worthwhile the wait. We'll see about that, because after that we only have one more season, because the series is going to end with the 4-season plan that Ryan Condal had in mind, and we'll talk more about that later, maybe after the post episode. Now, with the episode itself, this is gonna be a lot longer. It's gonna, if I remember, it's like 72 minutes. So they're really digging deep to the fact that this is gonna be a brutal battle. We know the battle itself is gonna be like 25 minutes. I have not read the books in its entirety. I know, like, details here and there, but I actually don't know the entirety of the story and what happens and what transpires. And yet, even with that being the case, there are still a lot of creative liberties with the series itself, because, like, I believe the books are just kind of like its own footnote compared to what we see in the series, so there could be changes. But then again, if we remember, George R. R. Martin wasn't as involved with season 2. I'm sure probably not with season 3 either. So we'll see about that. But that being the case, I'm very excited that we're back in the House of Dragon universe. I do want to quickly note that I am watching this a lot later than I usually would. And that's simply because, if you're not aware, there's a World Cup happening, and I'll tell you right now, whenever a World Cup is happening, I literally get the fever. I love watching the World Cup games, regardless of who's playing. And unfortunately, it happened to be that the final game today had overlapped with the House of Dragon premiere time, which is not a big deal. I did end up watching the game first because I had quite a feeling that the Egypt game was going to be a lot of fun, and it was. And now I'm finally getting down to watching this video, so it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of get this up, but even that being the case, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to function, I'm ready to get down into the premiere of House of Dragon Season 3. So without further ado, let's get right down into the premiere episode of House of Dragon Season 3. They changed it a little bit. They changed the tone a little bit. They changed the theme a little bit. Looks like we're still in Dragonstone? Question mark? Oh right, she's the one who hasn't claimed a dragon. Bela. Ooh, I think she has finally claimed the dragon. Finally proving those naysayers. Okay, that's quite dangerous. Oh, I forgot. That's Lara's.
Throne and a cripple for a protector. Oh, I'm fucking pathetic.
Shouldn't say that.
Usurper, bend a knee. Swear fealty to her grace, the one true queen, Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Targaryen.
Oh, he's not renouncing. Oh, okay.
Come on, friend. Affirm your fealty, so we might...
The captain said kneel.
Fuck you.
It's because he is Aegon Targaryen.
Did he just expose him?
What?
Oh my god.
No. That's
Someone's lying.
His crown.
no.
What is he doing?
Pretty hair. Take their heads. We'll make a rich bounty for the queen.
Forgive me, my lord, but you would
No,
lose your own
please.
head for such a misstep. Queen. As living hostages.
Who are they then?
No one of consequence.
Oh.
What's the nearest port?
You cannot trust her. Mother.
Can I just say, that costume looks gorgeous.
Elephant came to Dragonstone. Already that their defeat is written. Aemond flies
Okay.
on Vhagar to join Cold, will open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender Aegon to me. I will then take his head and the throne.
What are our terms?
Haste. I'll write to him. We'll fly to King's Landing in 2 days' time.
Boy, you better get your
And take the city.
anger under...
The king requires an audience.
I'm sure it's not Aegon. I think it's Aemond.
The search party, he needs to be found immediately.
Where were you, Mother? You've not been seen in the keep in days.
This is looking like old school Game of Thrones. Like season 1. Not gonna lie, it looks like a season 1 shot.
I was in the Kingswood, Aemon.
Aegon has left me no choice but to remain here and defend the city.
There goes the plot.
Aid
There
is
goes
coming.
the plot.
Lord Ormond and 15,000 Titan.
What was that? Well, that was quite a massacre.
And what of the Golden Lord Lannister?
Fled when the cavalry broke rank. Our scouts believe they may be regrouping near the God's Eye.
Then we'll continue the fight there. We must pursue them till the last.
Have graves.
Is that the Starks? I see a wolf. I see a wolf! Oh my god! The Starks are here! Oh my god! The Starks are here! The Starks are here! Oh, Stark.
We've come to die for the Dragon Queen.
Oh, they got one of the Lannister twins. Oh my god. Oh my god. They got the lion.
Very good.
Oh, the way that you two are gonna be so connected down the line. Oh, Jon Snow.
Exposed. If he does not come...
He has to come.
I don't think he's coming.
There is another matter. You, yes.
but also a statement to the men that we are not beasts, but knights and soldiers of honor.
Look around you, Sir Wayne. We will all become beasts before our end.
Only if we abandon our principles.
Nice. So we get a castle.
You get to hold a household or something like that, but a castle.
What? You have to be named a lord.
But he remembers now. He knows that if he has to face Rhaenyra's dragons, he'll die.
I forget the guttural name they have for it. But I believe a rough interpretation is dragon water. An acquired taste, perhaps. The Queen has sent word. Bring my armor.
Oh, those are going by fast. Oh, there's the other Lannister. Oh, he's offering you something. You better eat it. There is the other high tower, brother.
What is the weather to...
What the hell was that? Oh, isn't he from, like, Andor? Ah, that's your sister.
Aemon said...
tirelessly to put Aegon on the throne, but I failed to prepare him to rule.
Yeah, at least she admitted
His
to that.
frailties are his own.
You should have been king.
Oh, now she's just trying to get some up, huh?
If you'd only been born first, then perhaps we wouldn't be here. But to go to Harrenhal.
Oh, she's trying to push him to Harrenhal.
To what end?
It is a strong.
Right.
Is she wearing more blue?
Fly to the Riverlands. Draw Daemon out. But I cannot lose you as I did Aegon. If I do, I will be lost. Heed me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This is giving me Oedipus complex. Mr. Freud? Where are you? Oh my god. Okay. Oedipus complex. Ah.
I shall host a feast there, and your looks down from a spike.
Okay. Oh man, she's like she's so uneased. So disturbed. Oh my god.
What is that? Fuck this place. What's happened? I'm leaving. It's what's happened.
We must wait for Vhagar.
For how long? Forever and a day? She was meant to be here already.
We have centaurs
Queen
now?
only instructed us to ambush Vhagar. She did not say what to do if the dragon never...
Who are you?
I'm a witch.
Right, look after yourself.
There is war in the Gullet.
Who?
An armada of ships sailing out of the rising sun.
That up, Gullet, here we go!
Sprung their trap.
I shall go.
God. Keep your temper, child.
Stop!
Then you will at last be king. My riding leathers.
Lock and bar this door. The Queen must be confined until she regains her senses.
I could not defy Her Grace's commands.
You are a knight of the Queen's Guard, Sir Laurent. You
Oh,
including
he's
herself.
just such a, he's equally of an idiot as his, I guess you can say his uncle, his nephew.
Your life.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
For hers. Come with me. We are ready. We can win this victory.
This is why you don't bring children to the war. This is why children should not be making decisions. There's a very good case for this. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Sir Lawrence, open the door.
You're right.
Okay.
Open the fucking door.
I cannot.
Oh, shit.
Sir Lawrence! Jane!
To a singular pursuit, we must lead the assault lest it fall into disorder.
Do you think I sailed across the narrow sea to win your king's war for him?
Those were the terms of the contract.
That was such a beautiful gown.
I may appear to have the weak and feeble body of a woman, but I possess the heart and spirit of a king.
Man, who's giving her the great dialogues? Whoop!
Put those fires out!
Oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
Bring the grapnels!
Uh-oh, this is what I was afraid of. Spoilers of war. Memories are coming. Oh, and that's Jace. Okay. That was a very close call. Very, very close call.
Perhaps 70 yards distance.
Easy now. Starboard your helm. Too strong. Ease it back.
What do you weigh in that armor?
And the rest of them! Hold on!
Oh, right. Dang, it's not fast.
And be ready!
Oh my god. Oh no! He just. The fuck? This is why you need training. The fuck? Yikes, 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 yikes. Yikes! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's my sister.
Hold on, Baylor! Keep your Nasdaq!
That rider! We're about to lose Vermax, guys. Oh shit, that was quick. My heart is aching right now. My heart is aching. I'm so frustrated. I'm so goddamn frustrated. Wow. Oh man, Rhaenyra's gonna be on revenge, isn't she? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Did I not say? I had a bad feeling about this. Wow, there's really a lot to unpack from this premiere, and I gotta say that's quite a way to start with a bang, and with some deaths and a big ass battle. But I don't even know where to even start because there's just so much to really grasp from this episode. I think this is exactly what a lot of people were really wanting because let's remember back in season 2 finale that a lot of people were very upset with how anticlimactic the whole series had ended, and here we are where we actually start off with a major battle. And I'm sure I should have rewatched season 2 to kind of build up to the hype, but even that being the case, I mean the sets were there. I think here's what I will say right now. I think it's pretty clear at this point that the deal that Alicent and Rhaenyra had is probably it's gonna be null and void at this point, even though this is not even really Alicent's fault. And I'm not gonna even lie, I think I am starting to feel a little bit sorry for her. I can't remember if back in season 2 if I ever felt that way. I want to say I did at some point, maybe towards the end of the season, especially when she did eventually meet up with Rhaenyra and set that deal with her. But what I will say is that I think this is where I'm genuinely starting to feel for Alicent a little bit more, because this is, she is at least being accountable for her actions. She even admits to Aemon in that early in the episode where she fought so hard to put Aegon in the throne, but she didn't put the time to make him a proper king. And I think she is really starting to understand the consequences of her actions, and we can see why she has this urgency of trying to end this war as soon as possible. And I think one thing I will say, and I think this is a very key thing that I'm sure this season is going to go deep into, or maybe not, especially given what we saw, just what happened here, is the fact that, in a boardroom of men, there seems to be the idea that, with female commanders or female leaders or female, I guess you can say, female advice or whatever, right? Advisory. There is the urgency of we don't want a war to go on for so long, knowing the fact that it's going to cause lots of bloodshed, it's going to cause a lot of wreckage, ruins, etc. We saw the example of this right here, and the best course of action is to be diplomatic, try to set a negotiation, try to find some kind of resolution to end something, rather than letting a war continue for so long that would then continue to escalate the amount of loss and deaths along the way. And I think this is kind of where you do have to admire Rhaenyra, because for someone like her who is trying to become the queen, she even said in past episodes where she's like, she doesn't want to become, Queen of Ashes, or I don't know if that was Rhaenyra or Daenerys. I'm pretty sure it was Rhaenyra. She don't want to be Queen of Ashes. She's aware of the fact that she does not want to become, somebody in the throne where she causes a lot of wreckage, ruins to the throne, etc. She wants this to be a done deal. She just wants what was, rightfully hers, and that's it. And if it means being taken diplomatic approach, that's great. And I think what's so upsetting is when you have idiots like Jace, who is upset when there is the whole idea of a woman trying to alleviate the situation, and instead of trying to alleviate the situation, it's then being emotional, contrary to the belief, which is the most ironic part. It's like, in being emotional, locking up his own mother and going to battle, which is when I knew that this was going to be a really bad feeling. And I thought it was just going to be Vermax that we're going to lose. No. We lose also Jace because of his idiotic actions. And I don't know if this is coming straight from the book or if this is a change. I'm probably going to look that up later. But I think this is kind of what we were all suspecting was going to happen. It's because of the fact that Jace is so upset with his mom not listening to him, not supporting her actions. I'm sure, if I can remember season 2 a little bit, I'm sure there were moments of these arguments before. Because let's remember, even Daemon at some point eventually accepted that, he'll follow with what Rhaenyra has been doing, and he'll do that. And that's considering the fact that he went through a whole, season of, this whole enlightenment thing, and and he's just now kind of just blindly supporting her, which, if that's the way to kind of get this whole thing resolved, go for it, right? But for the fact that Jace decides to just lock up his mom, knowing the fact that, one, Rhaenyra has a lot more experience with dragon riding, two, will probably be able to find some ways to kind of de-escalate the situation. I think in a matter of sense, Rhaenyra would have been the better choice to go out there, help the sea snakes at the Battle of Gilead, if I'm saying that right. And instead of just having a more experienced person do that, we then have kids trying to act like adults, and we saw what happened, right? And I think, but of course, I will admit there were a lot of external factors that led to the issues that did happen in this episode, in this battle. Of course, with was it Lena? I forgot the sister's name, or Rhaena. It could have been Rhaena, because I know Bela was one who was engaged to Jace. I think she's okay from the looks of it. But the sister, who finally just got a dragon, has no training, no nothing, and decides to go straight into battle. It's like you have kids trying to act like adults, and we see the consequences of this where, yeah, kids should not be acting like adults, because clearly there's a reason why they're not in high position. So, and I say this because I'm it's really frustrating, because for a fact that they lack a lot of experience, and yeah, you can give them experience, just that you have to do it you have to tiptoe, and instead of tiptoeing, they just kind of just ran straight for it, for what seems to kind of be the whole marathon. I know I'm kind of ranting on a little bit. I think it's just the fact that I'm so frustrated with the decision makings of people who are trying to take matters to their own hands, only then to see that there's literally a reason why, you know, decisions were being made and adults should be handling the situation. So I'm very disappointed. I'm very upset. Like, I mean, honestly, just can I just say this, the visuals of this battle was absolutely great. Like, I mean, especially just the part where we do see Vermax, you know, drowning. I think that honestly broke my heart. Like, that literally, I think, was what really triggered everything. Like, I kind of went on a whole ramble. I was like, oh, and then the last thing I ever expected was that big shock where Jace gets killed. Which is like, oh, what? It's like, I thought this, it's just, yeah, I'm quite speechless in a way, that just because I am so frustrated with like everything that transpired in this battle, which could have been avoided, and it didn't because of stupid kids who don't know how to behave. Sorry, I'm going on a whole rant, and I'm sure like I'll I'm sure I'll cool down later, but it's just so frustrating when you see that. I mean, but yeah, let's get down to kind of a couple of things, of course, as I'm basically talking about the battle. And I have to say, like, I think the way that they really executed the whole battle was great. I think this is exactly what a lot of people had been waiting for such a long time. A big ass battle like this, I think. Something that we wanted since what was it, Rook's Rest. And I if you guys remember that episode, freaking, like, I literally lost my shit. If you guys remember, I literally was like crying my eyes out watching Rhaenys losing her life with her dragon. And yeah, if you haven't seen that, I'm sure it's one of the episodes. I think it's literally called like Rook's Rest or something. But yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for something like this for a long time. Only to see that after that, we didn't have any other big battles. I'm sure after this, we'll have a lot more conflict going on, because I'm sure for a fact that Rhaenyra is going to find out about the fact that she's now lost her eldest son, which is kind of weird for me to say because I kind of had a little bit of Succession flashbacks a little bit, but she's lost her eldest son. Let's touch on that. She's lost her eldest son, the heir to her throne. I'm sure she's probably gonna be so devastated, and I'll go back to Gillette in a second, but I'm sure this is probably going to change everything, because now she's gonna probably seek revenge. She's probably gonna think that you know, Jace or the other councils were right, that she probably just planted some kind of decoy, or just try to, you know, how do you say it? Try to kind of ease up on her, and, you know, instead of doing that, it was basically like a trap. There you go. It's basically like a trap. In the words of Emerald Akbar. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of Star Wars phrases today. I don't know why. I guess it's because there's a lot of Star Wars references here and there, but I'm sure it does. At this point, she might be convinced that this may have been a trap, and therefore there is no way that she wouldn't be even more vengeful now than she's ever has, because one, she's already lost Lucerys, and that was obviously an accident that, you know, you really can't undo. Two, she's now lost Jace, and I mean that one's a little bit more complicated, just because, one, you know, Jace was the one who caused this, so it's kind of his fault. But then second off, like, why the hell is the sea sisters being the sea snakes, sorry, not the sea sisters, the sea snakes being attacked in Gillette? It's like, what happened? What happened to the deal, right? So I think it could go both ways on this. And I think where I'll be very curious about is to see how she reacts to this. I honestly thought we were gonna get at least some kind of moment where we see Rhaenyra react to it. Looks like we're not gonna get that until the next episode, but which makes me kind of like, okay, I really wish it is next Sunday, because I want to know, like, what's gonna happen, like, what's gonna be the consequence. And so, yeah, yeah, there's like a whole lot of politics, a whole lot of decision making, some stupid decision making, not gonna lie. But yeah, getting down to the Gillette stuff, great, fantastic battle, well executed, well fought, choreographed. I think, you know, it's not very easy to do sea battles, because those will require a lot of CGI. I'm sure this was not something that they can do thoroughly practically. I'm sure there were probably a lot of blue screens or green screens or whatever. But the efforts of trying to get this done, I think it was pretty done well. I can't even imagine the budget because not only do you have to do a sea battle, but then you also gotta do like not 1, 2, but 3 dragons. You got 3 dragons. Yeah, what a way to I don't think even Game of Thrones was able to go through. Actually, no, I think it did. There was that one time, but that was such a quick sequence. It was like, what, 4 or 5? It was like not even, because this was like 25 minutes. Like, that was kind of what the estimation was. The one that we saw in Game of Thrones, like, was probably like a good 2 minutes. So I think we were at least a lot more rewarded with getting kind of the screen time of this battle compared to what we've seen before. I think, of course, some of the more iconic examples are like Spoilers of War, and I don't remember the one with the White Walkers, but that one where, where Daenerys loses Viserys up in like beyond the wall, right? And saves like Jon Snow and the crew and whatnot. That's the episode. I can't remember off the top of my head what that episode name is called, but Spoilers of War, I think, is one of the best battles out there. I think we've established that a long time ago. But I think this might actually go up there as like some really well seasoned, well put, well executed battle in like a really long time. I mean, I know we can't really put actually you can put a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms because the Trial 7 was quite a unique battle in all of itself. So you can contest that, but I think when we are considering the whole idea of like warfare, I think this is kind of like, this is one of the great examples of like finally kind of improving upon that, especially given, I'm assuming, a very expensive budget. So there is that. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a rant on that, but I have to say, I think it was done pretty well. We'll see about that. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think it was done pretty well. I think this kind of at least redeem some of the issues from season 2 and how things had ended, because now we actually opened up things with season 3 with quite a banger. I know we only got to see a quick bit of Daemon. I'm sure he's probably gonna come back later on in the episode to learn about Jace. The fact that we saw the Starks, so the Starks are now in the picture, guys. I was so like excited to see when the moment I saw the direwolf symbol, I was like, they're here. The Starks are here. Winter has come. No. Winter. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm like carrying away, but we finally got the Starks. I know there were. I think it was like Clegane Stark. I know there's one that's like Alice Blackwood. I think she's the one who ends up marrying one of the Starks. I'm a little bit familiar with the lore. I did a quick, bruise through of like what was going on. I'm sure there's gonna be more to this, but it looks like the Starks are finally in the war, and now they are backing Rhaenyra, which is, of course, when you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, like great grandfather, like son, whatever. I mean, Jon Snow, it's like you're literally, I think what's really cool is that, watching that visual too of like the Targaryens on like one side and then the Starks on the other side, and you like already know what the legacy is gonna be like what the future is, like you're seeing kind of the two groups together, and it's like, do you realize you guys are gonna be even more connected than you would think. But it's also very cool to see that, at one point the Starks did side with Rhaenyra Targaryen and her reign, and the fact that they're eventually going to have a key moment where, they'll be connected through Jon Snow. So, but yeah, I think that was kind of like a quick, nice bit right there. As I said, I think this is a really great way to kind of get things started. I'm very curious about Aemon, because like, okay, what's gonna be his next step? The fact that Aegon has now been caught and he's probably gonna be sent to Dragonstone, like I wonder what that's gonna be next. Like, is she going to go all Hammurabi code on Alicent, and now the fact that she's probably gonna get Aegon now, is she gonna go Hammurabi, or is she gonna do something else? There's a lot of questions. I think watching this episode just raises a lot more questions about what's gonna be the next move, what's gonna happen, how people are gonna react with Jace's death. Like, what does this mean for Rhaenyra now? Like, what does this mean in terms of her mentality, her psyche? Like, is she going to lose her shit and go full blown like mad queen? or not. I mean, we kind of already saw with what happened with Daenerys going all Mad Queen. I mean, she had a lot of reasons for it, which again, I think the reason why it didn't work out in the way that it did is because it wasn't as well executed. Whereas here, I think there is at least a possibility to kind of learn from the mistakes of Game of Thrones and make sure that if we are going the whole, Mad Queen route, that it is done properly, that there is a lot of thorough development to that. And I think so far I'm already seeing some positive signs to that. Can I just say, I think one of the things that honestly stunned me was the performance of Emma D'Arcy. I mean, the way that they were able to kind of perform Rhaenyra. Like, there were moments where I'm like listening to Rhaenyra and how she's responding. I'm not gonna lie, some of the dialogue is actually very solid. Like, some of the things that she was saying, I was like, whoa, like who like brought like this, like who is this guy who's bringing up who's like writing all this dialogue, because she's getting like all the best lines. And I think this is kind of the testament that, this season's gonna be the reign of Rhaenyra. I would not even be surprised at this point that Emma D'Arcy really gives off such a huge performance that it's going to literally blow us out of the waters. And I would not be surprised if it's something that would actually push for possible Emmy nominations. We'll see. We're still early on. It's only the first episode. We still have a lot more to go. So this is just early predictions, early calls. Who knows? It might go, the season 4 route, or it could go the season 8 route. Who knows? We're only just getting started. But I think for what I can say, this first episode is a great way to kind of get us back into the world, knowing the fact that, how people reacted last time. And not only that, but doing so in a way that it is quite a bang. It's like, hey, by the way, the war has started. We've finally formed the allies. Let's get right down to it. We're about to really unleash this war. And not only that, but doing so in a way that, because this is kind of the penultimate season now, that we have to then start building up what is left of this storyline, so that way it can go lead up to season 4 and then kind of close out everything, because we know that season 4 is going to be the last. So, but yeah, I went quite on a ramble, both in some frustrations, but also in a lot of intrigue and a lot of promise, just because I was very curious how this was going to, turn out. And I think it was a really great starter, in my opinion, and who knows how things are going to turn out next. And as I said, I don't know everything about what happens in Dances with the Dragons. I only know like small details, so for me this is all new. So just be prepared. Just like how I reacted to the whole Jace thing, that was not something, like, I kind of know the whole Shakespearean kind of themes that happen with this type of the timeline, but I don't know how it happened. I think that's why I was a little bit, stunned that we saw what happened with Jace. So, but yeah, we have a lot more to go. This is now the beginning of a new journey, but also kind of getting us ready for the end as well, because this is the penultimate season. But what a way to kind of start off the season. And I'll also say, because of the fact that, even though we have the World Cup happening, I did look at the schedule. Even though I got this up a little later, I actually looked at some of the Sundays after. I think aside from maybe one other Sunday, I think we should all be good. I will be posting up my reactions a lot more timely in the future, or most cases, aside for like one weekend. But I'm excited. Cannot wait to see what's gonna happen. Oh man, who knows how things have transpired. But that's all I have to say about tonight's episode. What a way to kind of start things off. But that being the case, I already said my words. Again, I'm someone who has not read the books, but maybe you have other thoughts. But having now seen the first episode, I want to know how you feel. Like, especially, were you somebody who felt really, really underwhelmed how things ended with season 2? That does this make up for that? Is that enough? Is this episode enough to make up for that, or do you need more? For those who have actually read the books, do you think this did a great job of really executing the actual details from the book onto the screen, or are there moments that you wish that could have been executed better, or maybe you're missing that maybe you thought was going to be there? For those who are like me, who has never watched, has never read the books, what do you think about the consequences of everything, and what do you think's going to be next for Rhaenyra, for Alicent, for Daemon, for everybody, now knowing the fact that we've just had another major casualty tonight? Let me know your thoughts below, and make sure to like and subscribe.